Okay, here we see our 2013 Mercedes E350 Coupe, and this one has an issue with the motor mounts. What happens is this common problem here with the Mercedes E350 is those hydrostatic mounts have a tendency to wear out. And as you can see, the engine, I can actually feel each firing cycle of the engine there through the car. So it seems like those mounts have settled. Mechanical connection. Here we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to install the two front hydrostatic mounts and the rear transmission mounts. They're all reasonably priced. We're actually buying them from our local Gion parts distributor. And we'll go ahead and get this together and get her back on the line. Okay, here we have our 2013 Mercedes two-door coupe, and the engine is very noisy, and I feel the vibration in the steering wheel and actually in my feet on the floorboard. Now we've just purchased a set of the hydrostatic Mercedes mounts, and this vehicle has about 80,000 miles on it, so hopefully that's going to smooth things out. Apparently this is an issue with the Mercedes mounts. The engine runs strong and smooth. It's just, it seems like it's an excessive vibration. Now of course obviously in decelerating I'm not feeling anything, but on acceleration or hard acceleration I definitely feel it. So that hopefully these motor mounts are going to straighten this out. So here we go. We're just going along, getting a kind of a pre-test, see what the vehicle is like with the harsh conditions, the worn motor mounts. Oh, here as I sit here at an idle, there's no problem, but as I accelerate hard, it doesn't feel like there's anything wrong. It's just this is not a Mercedes. The excessive amount of vibration and noise, not becoming of a Mercedes E350 two-door coupe. Okay, here we see the new motor mounts. Now this is a engine mount. Obviously I have one on the right side, one on the left side. Now they're actually symmetrical. So what happens is there's just one part number for both sides. So we have two of them obviously. I have one bolt here on the top. This is the 60-degree V6 normally aspirated, so there's no turbochargers or anything in the way. So there is a heat shield over the top bolt that is easily removed, and then of course the two bolts that retain the mount from underneath are readily accessible. And we'll simply lift the engine up with our little jack stand, and I'm going to be having it over at the shop, so it'll be on the lift. We'll be able to see it. We'll make a video of it. So we'll slip this one out and then slip the new one back in and do the same thing on the other side, and that will take care of probably 90% of the problem. Now once we have the vehicle on the lift and we're doing this kind of work, it would be nice if we could go ahead and replace this one in the back. Now this one's not quite so susceptible, but this vehicle was driven in the Washington metropolitan area, so it did a lot of stop starting, and this is the transmission mount, and sometimes it has a tendency to deteriorate and kind of settle, and so this can be a contributor also. So we might as well get all three mounts. So that will be all mounts, and then we'll inspect carefully the exhaust mounting. It uses the elastic style rubber hanger style mount. We'll check all of those, make sure there's no physical contact and everything is in order, and that should kind of help our situation tremendously. Here as I just sit there and while in park gently rev the engine, I can actually feel the vibration of the engine. The engine is actually running smooth and hitting on all cylinders, but I just feel the mechanical vibration of the engine. This is a 60-degree V6. It does not have a balance shaft, but boy, it feels like it could use one. So hopefully our motor mounts are going to restore this Mercedes to its original glory. Okay, here with our 2013 Mercedes E350 Coupe, we've just replaced the two front motor mounts and the rear transmission mount, and it's made all the difference in the world. Yes, now the engine idles very smooth and quiet. Now obviously the motor mount has nothing to do with the way the engine runs, but the ability to isolate the noise and vibration from the body of the car makes a world of difference in what the driver and passenger are feeling. So now this is truly representative of a Mercedes. Very quiet. Here in gear at idle, I can barely tell the engine's even running. And as I accelerate, this style Mercedes, the E350 Coupe, has a little more of a throaty exhaust sound, but it's not objectionable, and vibration is imperceptible. So it really feels good. So apparently this is a common problem with the Mercedes. These elaborate hydrostatic mounts do wear out just like a tire. So here after about 80, 90, 100,000 miles, it's time. The rear transmission mount is especially easy to replace. The right front motor mount is readily accessible. The left front motor mount is somewhat involved and difficult. And in this example, we actually had to remove the bracket for the powertrain control module, remove the bracket that bolts to the cylinder block itself in order to facilitate the removal and installation of the new motor mount. Now it is possible that from underneath the car, if you drop the exhaust, there you may be able to do it from the bottom, and we actually pulled it out from the top. Now the vehicle was up in the air, obviously, there on stands, but we found it was easier to come up through the top. And of course the transmission mount itself, that took all of 5 minutes. That was very easy there in the back. This is a non-4MATIC unit. This is a two-wheel drive model, so I wasn't dealing with the complexities of the 4MATIC unit. But even with the 4MATIC unit there, the transmission mount is pretty straightforward. So this vehicle is ready to go back on the front line, and this will make somebody very happy. Okay, here we're back in the 2013 Mercedes E350 Coupe, and we have replaced both of the front motor mounts and the transmission mount in back. And it's made all the difference in the world. Here, I don't feel the vibration of the engine here in the body of the car, and it's much quieter, much smoother at idle, and there under acceleration it's also much quieter also. So apparently these hydrostatic mounts here with Mercedes, both the V6 and the V8, this is a wear-out mechanism, just like a tire. And after about 80, 90, 100,000 miles, it's time. So the two front motor mounts, they're a little bit tricky to replace. The rear transmission mount is very simple. And on this car, this is the two-wheel drive, not a 4MATIC unit, but two-wheel drive. The transmission mount is especially easy to replace. But makes all the difference in the world in the feel of the car.